Let's talk London Celebration show hours, will call, and lineup tips. Let's go. All right, guys. So I wanted to make this video because lately I've been seeing a lot of comments and questions about like the show hours, about will call, how that works, like how early should I get there for that, and about lining up, queuing up. Because a lot of people were kind of wondering since it's their first celebration, how early they should get there, and then like why do people line up so early when the show doesn't open until 10 o'clock typically. So we're gonna kind of go over all those and just little tips and tricks that might help you make your decision for when you do go. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the hours. So this is on the celebration site if you go to the frequently asked questions section. So the show hours, which it's pretty much the same as it's been at the past three celebrations. The first 3 days, 10 to 7, and then the last day is 10 to 5. So opens up at 10 and then the show floor closes at 7. Now, I think sometimes they have little things that run a little bit after 7, but like pretty much for the showroom floor, these are going to be those hours right there. So that'll kind of give you an idea of like what time it starts, how late is there. Because I mean, some people might not be able to make it right away, but I mean, till 7 o'clock the first 3 days is a lot of time in the day. So you don't necessarily have to rush if you're kind of going just to go and experience it. Now, keep in mind, like the big major panel each day usually is, I think, at 11 each day typically. So for that big major panel, it's either 11 or 12. But it'll be like early. So if you were trying to go for those panels, you would want to get there early for sure. So those are the hours for celebration so far, and this is straight off the site. Now, I saw on one of the Facebook group they posted the hours for the will call line. So I believe if you bought your tickets after February 12th, you'll have to pick it up at the will call. So the good thing about that is they have earlier hours in the show. So say if you're only going for one day and you want to like capitalize as much time as possible there, you still can. So you could get to the will call early. So on the days of the show, Friday through Monday, they're open at 8 a.m. So you could get there early, 8, 8:39, 9:30, grab it, and then the show opens at 10. And then if you're in town early enough, you could also go the day before from 2 to 8 on that Thursday and grab your badge there. That way the day of you don't have to worry about that line. So it's really up to you depending on when you get there. But I know some people might be arriving like on the day of. So those are the times right there for you. So at will call, when you go to will call, you'll be going there to pick up one of these bad boys. One of these badges. So this is my badge from Chicago, and then that was the lanyard, the exclusive lanyard for Chicago. And then this one is my badge from Anaheim, and this is the exclusive lanyard for there. Now the lanyard is extra like 10 or 15 bucks, but they do give you a free lanyard. So this was the souvenir one from Anaheim. The free one from Anaheim was this one right here. This box lunch one where it says box lunch on one side and then the other side good old Kenobi and then Anaheim 2022. So you don't have to buy it. I always like to get it though cuz it's just a nice memory, a nice souvenir. And then this badge is from 2017 Orlando. And then this was the free lanyard they gave out there, this Toys R Us lanyard. So when you go to will call, you'll be getting your badge, and then on the back it'll have like all the information that you need. Well, the Chicago one was more up to date. So usually on the back of the badge, it'll kind of explain like how to activate it, all that good stuff. So you'll get all the details on there. That's kind of what the badge will look like. And then once you get your badge, you just wear this around your neck every day. And when you walk in, they kind of just check your badge to make sure you either have the 4 day badge or if you have a badge for that certain day, and then they'll let you walk right in. So that's what you'll be picking up at will call is your badge with the lanyard. Now, the biggest question I see is what time should I go to line up, queue up for? Like, what time? So it really depends on you and what you want to do and what you have planned, right? So if it's your first time and you're only going one day, I recommend getting there as early as possible just so you could experience everything, including the lining up and waiting. Because a lot of the fun times I've had at Celebration was waiting in those lines, because you're just in these long, huge lines with tons of fans that have the same passion for you, and it's just a cool experience. Everybody talking to each other, a lot of people giving out free stickers, pins, patches, swag. So you'll see a lot of cool stuff like that. So that's something that you definitely want to experience. Yeah, I'd recommend getting early. Now, if that's something where you don't really enjoy waiting in those long crowded lines, and you can't like stand for long periods of time, literally if you show up like 10, 15, 10, 20, 15, 20 minutes after it opens, you'll basically just walk right in. So if that's something that sounds better to you and you don't want to wait in a long crowded line, you could just show up a little bit after 10, and it's basically you walk right in. But if you show up before 10, it's and don't get scared by some of these pictures, but like this was Orlando 2017. So this was right before it opened. Like, so you can see this is the inside. This line went outside and around the building. So it was crazy. And now this picture is before they did raffles for panels and stuff. So some people stayed there overnight because they wanted to get wristbands for the panels. But now all the panels are through lotteries now. So you really can't and don't need to stay overnight. There's no point now. And then this was from Anaheim. So this was the queue hall underneath. So everyone's kind of here waiting. And as soon as it opens, these are the first ones to get in. And then, yeah, this is right before they let everybody in. So this was from Anaheim. So it's a huge crowd. Everyone's a fan. This can be a fun time for sure. As you see here, people bring little chairs to be comfortable and kind of hang out and just talk with each other. Now, the only reason you would want to be one of the first ones to get in is if you're trying to get an exclusive from a vendor on the showroom floor. So, like, say if it's Lego or Funko, or if it's a certain pin that a booth is going to have, you want to be the first one in the building to get to that booth first, because a lot of those exclusives, the vendors will put a certain amount each day, and once that amount sells out, there's no more for that day. So that would be one of the main reasons, if you wanted to get there early and in early, is if you're trying to get a specific exclusive or the overflow line for the big panel of that day. So like I mentioned before, the panels, you have to enter a lottery to win a seat to get in there, but sometimes it doesn't fill up if people don't show up. So they'll do an overflow line where once everyone gets in, if there's still seats, they'll let people in. So say there's a big panel and you really want to go and you didn't win the lottery, you could go to the overflow line and wait for a chance to get in, and it's not even guaranteed. Now, say you're going to Celebration and you're not focused on that panel because maybe you either don't care or maybe you want it, or there's no exclusives you want, you're just going for the experience, then you could just show up really whenever you want. I mean, it's really up to you and what you're comfortable with. But again, you don't have to queue up early unless you're trying to get a specific exclusive or into that overflow line. If not, 10, 15, 10, 20, you just basically walk through security, walk right in. It's so smooth and so simple. So I'll put the link down in the description below to my video where I kind of talk about the panels, the lotteries, the exclusives, and some more tips. If it is your first time at Celebration, I definitely recommend checking that video out. But that's pretty much it for the hours, the will call, and like lining up tips. So let me know in the comments down below if you have any other questions or if there's any other topics you want me to make a video on around Star Wars Celebration and your first time going. And if you guys want to see more updates for Celebration, be sure to subscribe. I'll be covering everything from now to the show, and I will be there all 4 days covering the convention. So if you guys enjoy this video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.